Sudan is in the grip of a brutal civil war. The government-aligned Sudanese armed forces are fighting for control of the country against the rival paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF. Almost 3 years of bloody fighting has led to the world's worst humanitarian crisis. And in recent weeks, atrocities committed by the RSF appear to have reached new extremes, with thousands reportedly killed. Under the command of rival generals, both sides have been accused by the United States and the UN of war crimes. But abuses carried out by the Sudanese armed forces, who are under the command of Sudan's de facto leader, have been largely unreported and left in the shadows. Now, a joint investigation by CNN and investigative newsroom Lighthouse Reports has uncovered a campaign of ethnically fueled atrocities targeting non-Arabs, carried out by the Sudanese armed forces and their allies across Sudan's Jazeera state. The evidence is harrowing. Bodies, like in this video, thrown into canals, some stripped, others with their hands tied, other victims buried in mass graves, and farming communities torched.
Anyone who appeared to be Nuba, from Western Sudan or from the south, was immediately shot.
It's a campaign that was orchestrated from the top, 4 well-placed sources, including serving security officials, tell us. They say an official within Sudan's General Intelligence Service was involved in coordinating the attacks in Jazeera state. And one of those sources told us Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan was made aware of the killings. January 2025, Jazeera state. The Sudanese armed forces are advancing to recapture the strategic city of Wad Madani from the RSF. But as they converge on the city, atrocities are unfolding. Video geolocated by CNN shows advancing troops stopped in the village of Kariba. Here they detain and assault young men, accusing them of belonging to the RSF. As troops advance towards the outskirts of Wad Madani, the violence continues to intensify. We verified several videos captured at this intersection, known as Police Bridge, over a period of days, reconstructing evidence of an eventual massacre. In this video, we see deadly clashes between army forces and RSF fighters who were ambushed as they fled Wad Madani. The aftermath is distressing. Bodies scattered across the street, some wearing the light fatigues of the RSF. Others are dressed in civilian clothing. In another video, a man is seen beaten and bloodied on the ground, surrounded by soldiers. He is injured and appears to be unarmed. Just seconds later, he is hit by a volley of gunfire. The fate of others captured at Police Bridge is unclear. Many appear to have been detained and driven away, their whereabouts unknown. The next day, fighters are seen relaxing in a courtyard beside Police Bridge. We can tell it was likely filmed in the morning from the cast of the shadows on the ground. The intersection appears to be cleared of the bodies seen earlier, suggesting that the Sudanese army has regained control and armed combat in the area is now over. But in just a matter of hours, this. The same courtyard becomes the scene of a massacre. The bodies of at least 50 young men, all in civilian clothing and unarmed. Some are lined against the wall, pools of blood beneath them, gunshot wounds visible to the head. In this clip, a fighter claims the men are foreign, accusing them of being from other countries. The execution of civilians or unarmed combatants is a war crime under international humanitarian law. We were able to track down a whistleblower from within the senior ranks of Sudan's General Intelligence Service. Speaking anonymously for fear of reprisals, the official told us that victims killed at Police Bridge were then buried in mass graves. Civilians alongside RSF fighters. An allegation we then verified through satellite imagery, reviewed alongside the Yale School of Public Health's Humanitarian Research Lab. Here you can see 5 new patches of disturbed earth at Police Bridge in the days following the alleged killings. And in this image, white objects consistent with wrapped corpses are visible in one of the graves. In subsequent imagery, the bodies appear to have been covered with dirt. But mass graves were not the only method used by the Sudanese armed forces and their allies to dispose of the bodies of their victims. We spoke to a second whistleblower from Sudan's intelligence service. He told us that some of those accused of collaborating with the RSF were shot, and then thrown into canals. Just 4 miles away, in the village of Bika, the whistleblower said bodies were thrown into the water, some while they were still alive. Days later, Sudan's de facto leader al-Burhan addressed his forces behind the very canal where, according to the official, the bodies were dumped. Satellite imagery captured in May, after water levels receded, shows what appeared to be dozens of bodies on the canal bed, meters from where the army leader had stood. Some 50 miles downstream, at least 8 bodies are seen lodged along the same canal system, captured in videos posted 1 week after the army seized control of Wad Madani. The Sudanese armed forces in January condemned what they described as individual violations after the recapture of Wad Madani and announced an investigation into the attacks. CNN has asked the Sudanese armed forces and its leader al-Burhan about the outcome and about the allegations within this report. These horrifying attacks along the road to Wad Madani, however, were not isolated. They formed part of a wider campaign of ethnically targeted assaults carried out on at least 39 villages across Jazeera State, which targeted the Kanabi, a non-Arab farming community often labelled by Arab-aligned militias as Black Sudanese.
They agreed they don't want any black people here.
They said, "We want to kill everyone. We will not leave anyone." They were shot in the chest, near the heart, and in the back.
Every few days, the canal would bring 1 or 2 bodies.
A member of a UN fact-finding mission described the military campaign to CNN as a, quote, targeted extermination of people along ethnic lines, in some cases amounting to what they described as ethnic cleansing. It's an allegation that has also been laid against the RSF during this war. Months after the atrocities in Jazeera State, there is no sign of accountability. And for now, justice for the victims remains out of reach. Nada Bashir, CNN in London.